So in the last video, we have seen up till this size of int data type, right? Now we will be seeing from random number. Okay, so we will be seeing from random number. Now, how to generate random numbers in Python, right? How can we generate? We can import random module and we can print that random number using random.randRange. So this randRange is a function which generates random number, right? It's a function inside this module. What is a module? Module is nothing but some code written by some other user and which is there inside a file, and we can use that file. So that is random module, right? So this is about random. So in this way we can generate random number. It will generate. So this is a starting from which we want to start, and this is the ending number. We can go up till here, from here 5. I don't want from 1 to 50. I want 1 to 5. I want up to 500. Any random number between that. It will generate only one random number, and that will be the random number. It will not generate the same result every time, right? So if we do, it has generated 320. Again, we run this file. Now it has generated 251. So it helps us to generate random number. How can we do that? We can do that using random module. And in random module, we have a function called randRange, right? We can use that. Right. Now we will be looking at the operators, right? So we will be looking at the operators. What are operators? Operators is used to perform some operation on something, right? So we have first arithmetic operators. Now what are these arithmetic operators? Let's understand that, right? So arithmetic operators are those operators which does mathematical operations, right? For example, we have to add, we can say a equals to 5, b equals to 7, right? We have two integer values here. Now we can say a plus b. This will add it. A plus b, right? This will add it. This is arithmetic operation. This is first one is plus addition to add it. Then we have minus. Then we have minus to subtract it, right? Then we have multiply. Multiply to multiply these two, right? 7 5 with 35. Then we have divide, right? It will divide 5 divided by 7, right? We have floor division. Floor division will give us the floor value, right? Let's understand this. So if we do, if we have something here 10, right? So it should give me some decimal value, but it will not, right? It will give me the whole number, right? 20. It will give me the whole number, which is the floor value, means lower whole number, right? If we say control X, yes, enter 1, right? 1, there would be 1 point something, right? But it is give me the what whole number, lower whole number, right? So this is about floor division. Then we have remainder. For remainder we use modulus function, modulus operator. So we have a modulo is represented by this percentage sign, a modulo b. It will give us the remainder, right? Control X. So this is our modulo value. 3. 3 is the remainder, right? Now these are what? Arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations, right? We have again one thing, again power. Power is represented by multiply, right? a to the power b. For example, if we have 3, so it should make 10 to the power 3, right? Let's see. We have this 10 to the power 3, right? So this is called how we can uh, do power operator. How can we use power operator? So these are arithmetic operations, right? Then we have what? Then we have assignment operators. Assignment operators is used to assign values, right? So we can say, for example, a plus equals to 1, a plus equals to 1. This is assignment operator. This has been assigned, this a has been assigned a plus 1. It is same as a equals to a plus 1, right? So we have assignment operator. We have a minus equals to 1, right? So it has been, it's just like a equals to a minus 1, right? We can again say a into a into equals to 1, a into a equals to a into 1, right? Then we have, in the same way, we can assign it with divide, we can assign it floor division, right? We can do that. So this is called assignment operator, right? Equals to is the assignment operator, right? Then we have comparison operators. Comparison operators is used to compare numbers, compare two numbers or anything, compare two things that are there. So there are different comparison operators. First one is greater than. It will check whether this is greater than this or not. Okay. Then we have less than. It checks whether this is less than this or not. Right. Then we have greater than equals to. Then we have less than equals to. Then we have double equals to. Double equals to will check whether this is equal to this or not. For equal to, we use double equals to. Then we have not equals to. Not equals to. Whether this is not equals to 1 or not, right? It just checks. So it checks the condition, right? It compares two things, right? So comparison operator. Then we have logical operator. Logical operator, it checks. So we have three logical operators, right? And, or, and not, right? So what and will check? And will check whether, for example, we said a is greater than 5 and b is, and after, so we have to put it here, gap, right? So and b is greater than 10, right? Now in and, this whole should this these all the conditions that are there in and statement should be true, then this will execute, then only this will execute, right? If a is greater than 5 and b is greater than 10, then only r this anything that is inside this will execute, right? Or on the other hand, will say that, for example, if I say a is greater than 5 or b is greater than 10 or not, if any one of the condition is true, it will still execute, it will execute the statement below it, right? And not, in the case of not, it will check whether this is true or not. If it is not true, then it will execute, right? If I say a is greater than 5, right? it will check whether A is greater than 5 or not. If it is greater than 5, then this will not execute. But if it is not greater than 5, then it will execute. A statement below it will get executed. Right? And will check that, and will say that all the conditions inside me should be correct, should be true. Then only I will execute. This is a statement, conditional statement, right? Then we have or. Or will say that if one of the conditions is true, I will still execute. If any one of the conditions is true, if we have 100 conditions and only first condition is true, or only second condition is true, or only 95th condition is true, then also it will execute. Not on the other hand, will execute when our condition is false. When we say a is greater than 5 and it is not greater than 5, then not will execute. This is what happens with logical operators, right? So these are logical operators. Then we have identity operators. Identity operators checks whether two objects are equal or not. We can say, for example, if we create a equals to 10, right, and we say b equals to 10, right, and we print inside it, we can say, okay, we will put it in if condition. If a is b, it will check whether a and b are pointing to the same object or not, right? There's a condition, we have to put colon here, and then we can say if it is equals, then print true, print true, right? If it is not, then print false, right? It will check if a and b are pointing to the same object or not. They are checking the identity, right? Their identity. So they are pointing to the same object or not. If they are pointing to the same object, then print true. If they are not pointing to the same object, then print false. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this was executed because we have not put it in else condition, right? So it will execute because it is outside our if condition. Let's again change our condition. We can say if this, then print this, else print this, right? Now let's run this. So true has been printed. Why true? Because I told you that from -5 to 256. From -5 to 256, right? I had told you earlier that from -5 to 256, it is in the range. This -5 to 256. It will assign the same value that has been assigned to any other variable. Why? Because of memory management. It manages the memory. It enhances the memory management. And the Python knows that this from -5 to 256 integer number, they are frequently used. So it will be there whenever another copy of the same value will get created. Means, for example, if someone has created a equals to 10, another one has created b equals to 10. So a will be pointing to what? 10, right? And now when, for example, a and b, right? And we have 10 here. So we have 10 here. 10, right? Now what will happen? This a is first pointing to 10, right? Now this is inside the string. Now uh, another one has written the same value, have assigned the same value 10. uh, Computer will check whether this value has been assigned to someone or not. It has assigned to A, right? So it is already present in the memory. Means this will check, our computer will check that 10 is present in our heap memory or not. It is present, right? So it will assign B to it, assign that value to B, right? This is what happens. That's why we got true. It is inside the range, right? So this is about what? Identity. Okay. Identity operator. Another identity operator we have is not, not given, right? So this is we can say if A is not is not is not will check if A and B are not same object, right? If this condition is true, then it will return true. If this condition is false, it will return false. Let's check. So now false has been written because they are they are pointing to the same object. Right? Is and is not are used to identify whether an of any variable is pointing to the same object or not. Right? Then we have membership operator. Right? Then we have membership operator. Membership operators, what it does? It checks whether something is present in something or not. Let's say, for example, if we do nano content.py, right? If we do something like we have to check membership operator, right? If we do a equals to, we put some string in it. We say Bharat, right? If we want to check whether B is present in A or not, we can say if if condition B in if B in okay B right B in A if B in A right. So it will check whether B is present in a variable or not. It is present. It is there in the string. It we will print true. Print true. If we don't give any other what else condition, it will still it will it will see whether B is present in A or not. And if it is not present, it will then nothing will get executed. But if it is present there, then true will get printed, right? Control X. Yes, enter. True has got printed. So B is present there, right? Now another we have is another membership operator is not in. We can check if B not in, not in will check whether B is not present in A, but it is present. Then nothing will happen. This true will not get printed, right? This condition is false. Nothing has happened, right? So that is about membership operator. Now we have some programs. Let's make that program. So first program is take name as input and print a greeting message for that name. We have to take a name as input and print a greeting message for that name. For example, hello Rahul or something. Right. First function, first program. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to take input a name. Right. We have to input. Right. Enter your name. Right. We have to input, enter a name. Okay, we will save it somewhere. We will save in name, right? Name. This can be anything. There's a variable name. So we have given a variable name, and we said input, enter your name. Enter your name will get printed, and it will prompt user to enter something, to enter their name. Right now, after user has input their name, that will be in the string, right? So we can say print, right? We can say hello, right? Comma, we will, after comma, we will put name. Comma will add white space between these two, right? Then we can say control X, yes, enter, execute it, enter your name. It said hello, Bharat, right? So this program has executed, right? This is a simple program for entering a name and then saying hello name, right? We can format it. We will format it later, right? So, but for now, let's say for another program we have sum of two numbers. We have sum of two numbers. We will do sum of two numbers, right? We can say number one equals to input, enter your first number, right? Enter your first number. We will put column here for the user to enter, right? We will put it inside integer because we want to, because it will come in a string, right? Input always comes in a string. It always takes input in a string value, right? So we have to typecast it into what? Integer value. We can say integer. I want integer value of it. I have typecasted it, right? Now for second number, again I can say number 2 equals to, I want integer value of input, and we want to say enter enter your second number, enter your second number, right? Enter your second number. We'll put inside colon, right? Bracket, round bracket, round bracket. Okay. We have taken first number, we have taken second number, we have said that I want integer value of that, I don't want the string value of that, right? Now I will say sum equals to number 1 plus number 2. It will add both of them. Then we can print sum, right? Print sum, right? Control X. Yes, enter. Python 3 content.py, enter your first number, right? We have said 50. Enter your second number. We said 30. So our thumb is 80. We can format it like this. We can say nano content.py. We can say in print statement, I want to see sum of two numbers. Right? Sum of two number number is number is comma sum. Right? Comma will add white space between this. Right? Control X. Yes, enter. We can say right Python 3 content.py. Enter your first number. For example, this time I say 100. Enter your second number. I said 30. Sum of two numbers is 130, right? So this is sum of two numbers. Find simple interest. So to calculate interest, simple interest, we can say P into R into T upon 100, right? Simple is just formula of simple interest is P into R into T, where P stands for principal amount, R stands for rate, and T stands for time, right? So we can say nano 100.py, right? Okay, so principal equals to, and take, we will take all in floating value, right? Float input, enter, enter your principal amount, enter your principal amount, right? P into R, date equals to floating value. We also want to take floating value. Input, input, enter yours, what? Enter your rate, right? Another value we want is time. Time can be 1.5. So again, we will take it in floating number. Float, input. I don't want the string value, right? Enter your time, right? Your time, right? Then for simple interest, we can say SI SI equals to this principal into rate into time, right? We'll do this first. We will multiply it first, right? And then we can say upon 100, right? So those are simple interest. Now finally, we can say output print simple interest. Simple interest. Okay, where I can print some message. Simple interest is comma SI at control X. Yes, enter. Enter your principal amount 5,000. Right. Enter your rate 1,000. Right. Enter your time 1 year. Right. Simple interest is 5,000. Right. We can again take a rate. Right. Some lower value of rate. Right. We can say principal amount is 5,000. Right. Rate is 1. Not 1. Rate is 6%. Right. And time for 3 years I want it. So 900. Simple interest is 900. Heard the answer? Yeah. That is about Simple interest. Convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Again, degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. What is the formula to convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit? We have to 32 something. So degree Celsius. Right. 9 by 5 and add 32. Multiply by 9 by 5 and add 32. Okay. So again, degree Celsius. C equals to enter. We will input an integer. We will input degree Celsius. Input, right? Integer, not integer value. Degree Celsius can be in decimal, right? We can take floating value. Floating value. Input, right? We can input the degree Celsius, right? And then we can say a Fahrenheit will be what? This C into 9 by 5, right? We can say 9 by 5, 9 divided by 5, right? And then this will, this we will add 32, right? We'll add 32, right? This should give us answer. Okay, we will not add 32. We will add 32 lately, right? Before that, I want this plus 30. Okay, so this is degree to degree Celsius to Fahrenheit, conversion of degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. We can print F should so control X, yes, enter. Enter degree 56 degree. Fahrenheit 132 degree. Degree Celsius to Fahrenheit converter. Yeah, how much? 56 degree. It is 132.8 Fahrenheit. 132.8, right? This is degree to Fahrenheit conversion. Input currency in rupees and output in USD. We have to input currency in rupees and output in USD. Same way we have done it earlier, right? So here we will input what? Indian currency, right? We want floating value of Indian currency, right? And then we want floating value of what? We want floating value of dollars, right? So 1 rupee equals to how much dollar? So equals to USD. To say $1. $1 equals 82. Let's say ST 82. 82. So we have to divide our rupees to with 82. C divided by 82, right? So 1 rupees equals to $1 equals to 82 rupees. 1 rupee will be 1 upon 82, right? So we will divide it by 82. We can say control X. Yes. Again, we'll put rupees. We can say 1, okay, 1, not 1, 82. It should give us $1, right? $1, right? So this is conversion of input currency in rupees and output in USD, right? But now we will see if else statement. What are if else statement? If else statement is a conditional statement, right? If else statement is a conditional statement. We can clear this out. No. If else statement is a conditional statement. If we say if, right, we can say a equals to 100. If we say if a is greater than 100, right? If a is greater than 100, in this case it is not. I want what? Print this. Print yes, right? Print yes, right? So this is if statement. If this is true, this will execute. If this is not true, then this will not execute. It checks the condition. For example, 105 control X, yes, enter. This will execute. Why? Because it is greater than 105, yes, right? But if it is not, right, so we can say nano content.py. If it is not greater than 105, what will happen? If we don't put any statement, nothing will happen, right? But if it is not greater than 87, we can say print this if it is greater than 100. If it is not greater than 100, else print this. After else, we have to put colon and then we can say else print this, print no, right? No has been printed, right? In the same way, we want some condition that is between this, right? So for example, we can say if it is greater than 100, print this. If it is 100, right? Then print this. Elif, we can use elif. Elif is the combination of elif. So elif, right? Elif condition. So a double equals to 100, right? We will say print this. Print what equals, right? Control X. Yes, enter equals, right? So this is what if, else, and elif are there, right? We can have if inside if also. For example, if we said if a is greater than 100, print this. Elif, print this. Elif, print this, right? In this condition. But inside of condition, we say if this is true, a is greater than 100, print yes and say if and check if a is greater than 90 also. It will be true, right? If previous condition is true, then this will be true. We say print print this something, right? If earlier conditions are true, then it will print this, right? 120. Control X, inside F we have to put colon, right? Control X, yes, enter. Yes, and this has it, right? So this is if else statement, and we can use it using and, no, or and not, and or and not, right? We can say we can add two conditions using and or not, right? If we say a equals to 120, right, and we say b equals to 150, right, and if we say if a is greater than 150 and, right, and b is greater than 120, right, if they are greater than that, then only print this statement that we have written, right? Print this statement, then only print this statement, right? So in this case, a is greater than 150, right? But b is not greater than 150, this will not get executed, right? Not get executed, right? But both conditions, if both conditions were true, then it would have gone executed, right? For example, if we say in place of 150, we have 90. It is, no, not 90. It is what? A is greater than 150? No, okay. A was not greater than 150, right? We can say in place of A, we want to put 180, right? And so let's, yes, enter. Both conditions should be true in AND condition, right? This got executed, right? Or in all condition, if any one of the conditions true, then also it will get executed. Right? If both conditions are true, then also it will get executed. Any one condition is true, it is enough. It will not check further conditions, right? It will get executed. If we say it is not greater than 120, we say 90, still this will get executed, right? In all condition. So to check not conditions, we can say if not a is greater than 5, a is greater than 5, so it is false, so it will not execute, right? It has not executed. Good. That was about if else statement. Now we will do some program using if else. Right. To check a number is even or not odd. So what are even numbers? Which is divisible by 2, right? So we can check whether the number is even or not, right? We can say we will input a number from the user. We will say a equals to input, right? It will give us the number in string. So we want to typecast it into an integer, right? So we can say input any number, any number, right? It will input any number, right? The user will input any number, right? Now, if we say a equals to integer of input number, now we will do some operation. We will say b equals to a modulo 2, right? Or we can say we want to reduce our signal. If a modulo 2 double equals to 0, means after dividing our number with 2, if it is giving us 0, we can say print print even number, right? Even is right. If we have not, it is not, our condition is not true. Else, right? We can say print odd, right, right, and as it gets, right. And number 5 or 10, even number, so it is odd number, right? The simple program for even words. Input a year and find whether it is a leap year or not. So what are leap years? Understand this? What are leap years? Understand this. If a number is divisible by 4, right? It is called a leap year, means we have some year. If it is divisible by 4, this means it is a leap year. But this only, this is not only the condition for a leap year. If our year is divisible by 100, right? If our year is divisible by 100, right? 100. It should be divisible by, if it is first, our year should be divisible by 4. Then it is called a leap year. Also, it should be divisible by 100. It can divisible it if it does if it doesn't what is, if it is not divisible by 100 and it is divisible by 4, then this is a leap year, right? First condition. What is the first condition? If our year modulo 4 double equals to 0, right? And both conditions should be true. Year modulo 100 is not equals to 0, right? This is called a leap year, right? If it is divisible by 100, then every century is not a leap year, right? Every 400 century is a leap year, right? Every 400, every 400 year is a leap year. Every 100 year is not a leap year. Every fourth century is a leap year, right? So we can say year modulo 400 double equals to 0. If it is divisible by 100, then we can say it should be divisible by 400 also if it is a leap year, right? This takes us to the second condition. We can say year modulo, right? Year modulo 4 double equals to 0 and year modulo 100 is not equals to 0, then this is a leap year. Or we can say this, if it is divisible by 100, means if it is not divisible by 400, 4, if it is not divisible by 4, then it cannot be divisible by 400, right? This is simple logic. 400 is divisible by 4, right? It should be divisible by 400, right? If it is divisible by 4. It is, if it is not divisible by 4, it cannot divisible by, it is not divisible by 400, right? But if we say, if it is divisible by 4 and it is not divisible by 100, it can be divisible by 400, right? It can be divisible by 400. We can directly say here, if this condition, if any one of the condition is not true, it will check here. If here modulo 400, if here modulo 400 double equals to 0, then this is a leap year. Because this 4, if it will not divisible by 4, then it will not divisible by 400 also, right? If it is divisible by 4, then this, then it will check whether it is divisible by 100 or not. If it is not divisible, then leap year. If it is divisible by 100, then this condition is false. Both conditions should be true in AND, right? So it will go to all conditions. In all condition, we have year modulo 400. If it is divisible by 100, it should be divisible by 400, right? So if it is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year. If it is not divisible by 100, both conditions false, it is not a leap year, right? We can apply the same logic here. We have to write a program whether a year is leap year or not, right? So we can say, for example, year equals to, we can say input, we want to take a year in integer, right? Integer, typecast as it as an integer, we can say input, enter year, enter year, right? The user will enter its year, right? User will enter its year, right? Now, what we want to see, we want to check conditions, right? If, right? If year modulo, year modulo 4 double equals to 0 and year modulo 100 is not equals to 0, right? Or, right? We can say if year modulo 400 double equals to 0, right? If any one of these two conditions, eh, got it. Okay, so if any one of these two conditions, any one of these two conditions is true, then print what? Print leap year. Leap year. I have to put column there, right? If if any one condition out of these two conditions is true, print leap year. Or we can say else. Mhm. Print what? Print not leap year. Right? The leap year. And so let's enter 500 content.py, right? Enter here. Want to see whether 57 was a leap year or not. It was not, right? So I can see what was the leap year. What was the last leap year? Right? 2020. Let's see. Let's see content.py. 2020. It's a leap year, right? Now we will be looking at another program which reads two numbers and it will read also an arithmetic operator, means 3 input is required, 2 numbers and 1 arithmetic operator from the user, and we have to display the result, right? So we have to display the result based on the arithmetic operator he puts, right? So we can first say input, right? We want integer value, right? We can say a equals to int. Inside int we have input. Input. We will take some number 1, right? Number 1, right? This number we have taken. Then we can say b equals to, we will again enter a number, right? Int input, right? We will take another number, we will say number 2, right? Number 2, we have taken another number, right? Now what we have to take input an arithmetic symbol, right? We have to take an arithmetic symbol as an input, right? We can say c equals to, we will take input, and we will give instruction to the user that enter plus comma minus comma multiply comma divide, enter any of these, right? Enter one of the one of the operator one operator, right? Enter one operator out of this, right? Out of this. So these are the operators: plus, minus, multiply, divide. We can say enter any operator out of this, right? And put it inside a post, right? Now after this we have to find out that user has input which operator, and we have to match our results, and we have to uh, do the operation on the two numbers and then give the result to the user. Okay, so we can say if, using if condition, we will do it. If this c double equals to, right? If c double equals to what? Plus, right? If c double equals to plus, okay, plus, right? If c is double equals to plus, if this happens, so what should I do? So you should return, not return. We are not in the function, right? So you should print what? A plus B, right? You should print A plus B, right? elif, else if, right? elif, do what? C double equals to, if C double equals to what? Minus, then do what? Right? Then do what? Then print, what? A minus B, right? If C, okay, else if, elif, C double equals to multiply, right? Double equals to multiply, right? If double equals to multiply, we can say do what? Print, print this A into B, right? A into B, right? Else, no, not else. And if C equals to, C doubles equals to divide, right? Then divide it, right? Then divide it, print, print, divide A divided by B, right? Do it, right? And now else if our our user has input some wrong symbol, means not, he has not input these symbols, any of these symbols, he has input another symbol. For example, he has input this symbol, right? So I want to return print invalid, right? Invalid operator he has given us, right? We can Run this program. Python 3. Right. Content. Py. Number one. First number is what? 78. Right. Number two. Second number is what? 87. Right. We want to minus. Right. Minus. Right. So it 78 minus negative number will come minus 12 in value. Right. We have given a space here, right? We can't give a space because no space was there, right? So we can say again run it and say, right? We can say 78 and the number we can give is 80, right? We can say we want minus 2 has come, right? Earlier we have given some space, so it was saying invalid because if it is not out of this character, yes, it's a white space, so it will say it is invalid, right? But now we have given it, we can't give a space right here because it will take it as a white space, so we can't give it, right? If we do something like, again, if we do something like 5, first number is 5, second number is 7, 5, 735. Multiply, we have to multiply, right? Multiply 5, 735, right? This one. Okay. So this was about 8 two numbers and an arithmetic operator and display. To print the largest, smallest of two numbers. We have two numbers, right? We can print largest out of it and smallest out of it. Right. We have given two numbers, right? So nano content.py. We have given two numbers. We have to print who is the smallest and who is largest. Right. Now number two. I will give a space here. It looks good, right? And out. We have two numbers. We have to input which is largest, which is smallest. And we can say if, right? If A is greater than B, right? If A is greater than B, we can say, so our question was to print the largest, smallest of two numbers, right? So first we will put print largest. We can say if A is greater than B, print what? Print A, right? Print what? Number one. Okay, print A, right? Print A is largest, right? If else B will be the largest, right? Else print what? Print B, right? And B. And control X. Yes, enter. Python 3 content.py. Number 1 60, right? And we have 90. 90 is the largest, 90 printed, right? In the same way, we can go for the smallest. We just have to change the condition. We can say if A is less than B, then A is the smallest, and if it is not, then B is the smallest. Enter the X, yes, enter, right? We can say Python 3 content.py number 1 78, right? We can say for 45, right? 45 is the smallest, right? This is how we can find out that how to print the smallest and largest numbers, right? Now let's understand what are loops. Loops are a block of code which will run again and again till our condition is true, right? So there are different types of loops. There are for loop and while loop, right? For loop, how can we use for loop? We can say, for example, we have something a equals to string, right? We have banana, right? Banana, right? Now, in this, we have banana as a string, right? It is stored in a, right? We can go to each element of this string and print it on our terminal. What we can do? We can do it using for loop, right? We can say for x. X is a variable we have taken to store the value. In what? A. For x in A, what to do? What to do? We have to say print. What? Print x. Right? We want to print x. What will happen here? A will store banana, right? And for loop will happen for x in A. Means everything. Means go one by one in A. Right? It will go to the first index and send it to x. Right? So x in A means find out what are the elements in A and print it here and take it here and then print it, right? Then again go back to the elements till the element is true. It is true. It is never false, right? This is true. This is a value banana. It is true, right? So it is always true. When it will get over, it will become false and you can, and that would be the last and you can go out of the loop, right? Let's see what happens. Right? We can say Python 3 content.py py banana, right? So this has printed on our terminal. This is how we can use for loop. We can also access our element through for loop using indexes. We can say, for example, a equals to, right, banana, right? We can say for loop, run for loop for x, right? X will be our index number in range of, right, x in range of what, len of a, right, right, and then we can print what, print, we will not print here x, right? X is the index number. We can print a of x, right? A of x. Now this in this for loop we have to put colon, right? Colon, right. So what is this? So basically a equals to banana means a contains string value, right? For x in range, for loop, then for loop for x will be storing the r value which will be coming from this range of len of a. A is our variable, right? This len will give us the length of the variable, right? Length of our reference variable, right? Len will give the length of our reference variable. Len is a function and it gives strings what, length, right? What is the length of the string? And we can range through it, right? Range will return a range of values, right? Range of values means, for example, if we say range from 1 to 10, it will return 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So this is how, and 10 will be excluded, means last number is excluded, right? So it will not include the last number. What would be the length of it? It would be 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? But we don't want 6 number because our index number starts from 0 0 1 2 3 4 5, right? So it should end in 0 and range will exclude the last digit that has been specified to it. So for example, if we say range of 1 to 10, start from 1 and end to 10, So 10 will not be included, 10 will be excluded, right? So this len of a, it will go from 0 to len of a. If we have not specified a starting index, it will say I will go from 0 to len of a, and I will print a of x, print a of, for example, first it is in 0th index, it will print b, a of 0, a of 0 is what, b, right? So it will print b, and in this case and this for loop will go on till this value is true, right? So we can say control x, yes, enter python 3 content.py, right? Banana has been printed. The loop we have is while loop, right? So while loop, for example, we have a equals to banana, right? We have I equals to index number 0, right? We can say while here we will put our condition while this I is less than, right, len of a, right? We are looping through the index value, right? While this condition is true, right? What can we do? We can print it, right? We can print what? A of I, right? A of I. I will print A of I, right? Then I will increment I by 1, right? I plus equals to I plus equals to 1, right? And we can go out of the loop, right? Control X, yes, enter. This has, we have looped through it, right? What happened? Understand this, that we have a string value a equals to banana, right? We have I. Before declaring, what you have to understand is that inside while loop, you first check the condition. Till the condition is true, our loop will run, right? So condition, how to check the condition of this string? We can check the condition using len function, right? We can see how till how many index it will go, right? And we can run our own index from here. We can say I equals to 0, we can set the value of I equals to 0, and then we can say I is less than len of a, till then run a loop, right? And then print a of I, print a banana of first index, 0th index, right? And we can say increment our index 1 by 1, and when it will come here, okay, how it runs, it will first 0 will go here, 0 is less than len of a, len of a is length of a, this is 0, 1 2 3 4 5 6 6, 1 0 is less than 6, it will print a of 0, right? So it will print b here, right? And then it will increment its index by 1. We can say 0 plus 1 equals to 1, right? Then again it will do what? It will go here, right? It our condition is 2, right? So it will be like 1 is less than 6, right? So it will come here and it will print a of 1, right? And then I equals to I plus 1, right? We have 1 plus 1 2, right? It will go on, go on, go on till it will reach it here as 6. 6 is less than 6, no, it will come out of the while loop, and our uh, our it will stop executing the while. Now we will be understanding about break and continue statement, right? So for example, using for loop, we can say, let's say we have a list a 1 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6, right? We have this list, right, with us. Now this list has been assigned to a, right? We have a for loop, for example, for x in a, right? We can say travel each element of a and just print it, right? And just print it. But here's the catch, we don't want to print after this, after it finds 5, right? We have to print first two elements, we don't want to print after it finds 5, right? We have to put some condition. We can say if, right? We can say if if x equals to double equals to 5, right? If we say if double equals to 5, x is double equals to 5, then what to do? Then break out of this loop. Then break out of this loop, right? We can control x. Yes, enter, right? We can do python c content.py. We can run execute a file. We can say python 3 content.py. Okay, we have added 3. Yeah, right. Control x. Yes, enter python 3 content.py. It got executed 145. 5. Why 5 got executed? Because we have put print statement before if condition. So 5 will get printed and then it will check if x double equals to 5. Right? If we don't want to do this, we can just say put print statement after if condition. First check for if condition, and if the x is not equals to 5, then print it, else don't print it, right? Else stop the loop, come out of the loop, right? We can say print x here. We can put, right, control x. Yes, enter python c content.py, right? 1 4 has been printed. So this is break statement, right? This is break statement. Break statement does what it does. If condition is satisfied, then break statement will come out of the loop. It will not look for another value. It will not look for another value in the for loop. It will come out of the loop. That is called break statement. Also, if we have put something else here, right? Before else, let's understand what do we mean by continue, right? Continue, right? Continue. So, continue means if we have something a equals to 1 4 5 6 and we are looping through a, right? If we say if x double equals to 5, continue means don't look for this iteration, go for another iteration. Don't execute any command after this iteration. Look for another iteration means it will first go 1 equals to 5, no, it will print 1. It will go 4 equals to 5, no, it will print 4. It will go 5 equals to 5, yes. Don't go for this iteration, go for the next iteration, then go for 6 equals to 5, print 6. So it will print 146, right? Control x, yes, enter python 3 content.py 146. It has skipped our third iteration, right? It has skipped our third iteration. That is about continue and break in for loop. In while loop, what happens? For example, we have 1 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6, right? This is a list. We can say while there are some contents in this list. We can say len of what? Len of 1 4 5 6, len of a, right? We can say while len of a what? I is less than len of a, right? We can say while I is less than len of a, we have to initialize I, right? We have to say I equals to 0, right? While I is less than len of a, what to do? Do print I equals to I, print I, right? Print a of I, right? Print a of I. We can say this. We want to print a of I while I is less than len of a, right? But if condition, right? We will put some condition in break statement. If, so in while we have to put colon, right? We have to put colon here, right? we can say if condition a, if I double equals to, if its index value is 0, 1, 2, it's 2, then break out of the loop and don't print anything else, right? Break, we can break out of the loop and we can say don't print anything, right? Right, it will break out of the loop. Else we can also say we will not print it earlier. What we can do, we can check for the condition whether if I double equals to 2 or not, then we can print it. If it is not, then print this. Print what? A of I, right? A of I. We have to say what to do with I. We can say increment each value of every time, increment the value of I by 1, right? We can say control X. If we will not increment it, then what will happen? It will go for the infinite loop, right? We can say Python 3, Python 3, Python 3, content.py, 1 4. After this, it broke out of the loop, right? Now let's understand how to use continuous statement and while loop, right? So, for example, if we have something, we have I equals to 0, right? We have assigned I equals to 0, right? We have said while inside our condition, we said I is less than 9, right? Print value from 1 to 8, right? We can say while I is less than 9, right? We can say do what? First increment it by 1. Why? Because after continue, if we put increment, right, it will it will not execute, and our function will go into infinite loop. Our while loop will go into infinite loop, right? It will again and again come to 2 and it will say I will not continue, right? So we have to do it. What I'm saying is that if we say print, here only we say print, uh, after continue we don't want, right? We don't want after 9, and after 3 we don't want. For example, we have put some condition here, I should be less than 9, this while loop should continue, but we don't want third iteration to get executed. We want fourth, fifth, sixth. We don't want to print 3, right? We can say what? We can put condition here, if condition I double equals to 3, then skip this iteration. We can say continue, right? Inside if we want, if I equals to 3, we can say continue, right? But what I am saying is that if I put our increment value, because in while we have to increment our value, right? If we say, if we increment our value after continue here, right? In this if condition only, in this while condition only, we can say after continue, we say I equals to I plus equals to 1, increment I by 1 every time. This while loop will go, it will increment of 1. We also want to do some work here. We want to print the value. We can say print inside it. We want to say I want I value to be printed, right? If we say if 3 comes and continue will happen, then I will remain 3 only. It will again go here. It will come here again, and it will continue, continue, continue. I will remain 3 and we will stuck in an infinite loop, right? So we don't want this. Now we have to put this increment before continuous statement, right? We have to put this before continuous statement. We can say before continuous statement, we can say increment I by 1, I plus equals to 1, right? We can say increment I by 1 whenever you go inside the loop, increment I by 1, and then if I equals to 3, continue. Skip this statement and you can continue from now on. Now what will happen? 0 is less than 9, right? It will increment by 1, 1. Okay. Now I has become 1. 1, 1 is 1 equals to 3. No. It will print this. 2 equals to 3. It will 1 is less than 9. It will increment by 1. 2 is less equals to 3. No. It will print 2. It 2 is less than 9. No. Then 2 plus 1, 3 is 3 equals to 3. Yes. Continue. It will skip this statement. It will not print. It will say 4 is 3 is less than 9. No. We can say 3 plus 1 4. 4 is equals to 3. No. Then we can print our statement. And this way it will go up till 9. Right. And control X. Yes. Enter. We can say this Python C content.py. Right. 1 to 9. It has executed. Right. Now we will be understanding else statement. Right. So in else statement, what happens? Understand this, that this else will get executed when we will complete our loop. We have completed our loop and we get out of the loop, right? But if we get out of the loop in between, if we have broken our loop, we have said break statement, we put some break statement between our loop, then this else will not get executed, right? So if we say, for example, we have 0 here. 0 is less than 9. Yes. Then 0 plus 1. 1. 1 equals to 3. Break. If 1 equals to 3. No. Then print 1. Right. Then we have 1. 1 is less than 9. Right. 1 plus 1. 2. 2 equals to 3. No. It will again print 2. Again 2 is less than 9. No. 2 plus 1. 3. 3 equals to 3. Right. Yes. It is 3 equals to 3. Then we can break out of the loop, then this else will not get executed. Let's see this. Python C content.py 1 2. This break has not got executed. Print else condition has not got executed. In while loop and in for loop, it also happens in for loop, right? Also, right? If we say we don't put break statement here, we don't put break statement here. We do not break our statement if our uh, while loop continues. Also, our while loop continues in continuous statement also, because in continuous statement we do not uh, break out of the loop. We just break out one iteration, right? So continue uh, will happen on will complete our loop, right? So in while loop, if we do something like this, this else statement will get executed whenever this loop gets over. For example, control X, yes, enter. We can say Python 3 content.py. So good has been executed, right? So this was about else statement in loops, right? So how to loop through range? Let us understand this, right? For example, we have a range. I have said to you earlier that what is range? Range of 6 means that it will print from 1 to from 0 to 6, right? From 0 to 6, right? So if we say we want to loop through this range for x in range of 6, then and we want to print it, right? So it will print each element one by one, right? It will print each element one by one, right? We can say print x, right? And we can put starting value also. We can say 0 to 6. I want to go from 0 to 6, right? And x, yes, enter. This is how we can use range, right? Right. Okay, 6 is excluded, right? Also, how to create empty loop and empty if else. We can uh, for example, we have something while while I is less than 5, right? And we have while I is less than 5, right? And we say inside it we haven't put something, it will give us error, right? If we have I earlier, right, for example I equals to 0, this will be true. 0 is less than 5, right? If we say pass here, then it will not give us error. When control X, yes, enter python c content.py, it has not given us error, right? But it has gone into infinite loop because we have executed while loop, right? Control X, right? Control C, we have keyboard interrupt, we have done keyboard interrupt, right? Nano content.py, because in while loop we haven't passed our iteration, our incremental value, so it will do what? 0 is less than 5, pass. 0 is less than 5, pass. 0 is less than 5, pass. Uh it will be gone into an infinite loop, right? In the same way, if we don't want anything to be printed after if statement, we can say if a double equals to I, right? We have something, we can say pass. Pass is used to keep something empty, right? So this is pass statement. So for now, we can create empty loop, we can create empty if else, right? Using pass statement, we can loop through range. Range gives us a range of numbers, for example 1 to 6, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? That is range. So this was about our second video. Now for third video we will be looking into strings and list and tuples, means all the collections, we will be looking at all the collections, we will be looking at the string, right? So that's it about this video. uh if you enjoyed, please do share, like and comment. And okay, okay, bye then.